He's never fought us. Not us united.
Die. Oh! I can so see that. That's it. Welcome to Comics League. I'm Jared, and today I'm going to give you guys a reading list if you guys are interested in Superman and Wonder Woman's relationship from past DC. So what I'm going to do, this is I have some books actually here from my collection. Then I also have some books that I've read on DC Online that either are out of print or they don't do anymore, or like they are like a very old, though, so it's like really expensive to pick them up. So I'm going to start with the books I have. And so again, the way this is going to work is I'm going to hold up the book to the camera and tell you guys a little bit about why I like it. And then occasionally I'll flash up an image of a comic I don't have the book of. So let's get started. So first off, Dark Knight, the Master Race. Now, this is the only book where the Superman-Wonder Woman relationship is actually done well. What I mean by in the Frank Miller universe, because in Dark Knight Strikes Again, and one of the many problems with that book is that Superman and Wonder Woman like conceive their child John and cause a hurricane. So yeah, it's not like one of the things. And then it's like in All-Star Batman and Robin, again, another problematic book. They fight, then they make out, and then she's like, I hate you guys, you make me sick. So I'm like, this is stupid. In this, she has the kid. She's more of the Wonder Woman that we recognize. And again, her and Superman have a more like healthy relationship in this book. Next, New 52. A lot of my picks are going to be New 52 because that's when it was canon. Superman Doomed. Now, this is the story where Superman... all right, they were sort of teasing this from the Superman and Wonder Woman book, which is actually an option I have. So in this book, Doomsday comes up, invades. Superman destroys them, but then inhales in Doomsday because Doomsday in this is like a virus, and he starts to turn into Doomsday. So in a way, the death of Superman. So what's cool about this is that Clark loses control and then eventually turns into Doomsday. Has a bunch to destroy this town, and Wonder Woman, and remember, this is when they're together, has to choose between possibly killing the man she loves or saving the town, and she almost ends up killing Clark, which I was talking to Robert Willing about this on a show that we did. I think it was on either his channel or my channel, but we were saying it would have been cool if for an Elseworld story like a Tales of the Dark Multiverse, she did, and she became Doomsday. Plus, it kind of fits in with the whole Greek tragedy. But that's why I love this. Plus, it deals with, like, in the aftermath of this, he has to leave her to go master Doomsday. Then he's away for a month. He comes back with a beard. They make out in the stadium. It's really cool. Next, we have, all right, Volume 1 of the Jeff Johns Justice League run, because this is when the relationship's established, all the way from the first arc of Justice League called Origin, which is the first invasion of Darkseid, all the way to Justice League 12, when they have their first kiss, all the way to like the Throne of Atlantis arc. They have the first date, but it's interrupted by an Atlantean invasion. And then this is basically where they lay the foundation for it. And they do it. And this is Jeff Johns at his peak, and I really enjoy it. Next, Superman and Wonder Woman Power Couple by Charles Sewell and Tony S. Daniel. This and Part 2 and Arc 2 are the best. The rest of the arcs, not that good because it's Peter J. Tomasi coming on and completely tanking the book. But in this book, it's really, really cool because this brings back... This is where they introduce Zod and Feora. They invade, and turns out... So Doomsday... This takes place before Doomed, and what happened was... So in the New 52, they established that Doomsday invaded Krypton originally, but they banished him to the Phantom Zone. In this, Doomsday is about to break out, so Superman and Wonder Woman have to fight Doomsday. So they go to to Wonder Woman's brother Hephaestus, the armor of the gods, to get armor to fight Doomsday. But what's kind of funny is that there was a scene, so Apollo shows up, the god of the sun. Really important to understand this guy's the god of the sun. And he blasts Superman with sunlight. And Superman goes, in the most Snyder Cut not impressed moment, he goes, "You don't know that much about me, do you?" And then he just punched him through a volcano. fantastic, loved it. So and then eventually they end up fighting Zod and Feora in this, which they use Zod and Feora as a mirror to Superman and Wonder Woman, who are kind of like the good version of Zod and Feora in that sense. Next, we have a pretty obvious choice, but I kind of had to. Arguably one of the most beautiful looking DC comics of all time, Kingdom Come. In this storyline, Lois Lane has been killed by the Joker. And then this superhero named Magog kills the Joker. And Superman is being anti-killing in the story is like, okay, so God kills the Joker, and then the public embraces him and goes, about time superheroes kill people. So Superman, frustrated with humanity, retreats to the Fortress of Solitude and just lives there for many years. Wonder Woman shows up and tells him, hey, listen, the world is screwed up. You need to come back. So he does. He reassembles the original Justice League, and they basically solve that whole situation. I'm not going to go into the storyline because if you want to, you can watch our episode on Kingdom Come. So at the end of it, Superman and Wonder Woman have their own child, and it was kind of played up in the book The Kingdom, which is the sequel to Kingdom Come. But I mean, they tried to make sequels to Kingdom Come, but none of them were as good as Kingdom Come. So there's that. So the next Superman and Wonder Woman book that I'm going to talk about is the one that was the most infuriating, and that was Immortal Beloved, which was the one where Wonder Woman is I believe the way it works is that Wonder Woman is visited by one of the Norse gods and says, hey, Valhalla is being attacked, and our realm is being attacked, and we need you to come defend it. So she calls Superman, and Superman and her go to the Norse realm, spend 1,000 years there, like literally 1,000 years, and they grow closer. But when they have the chance to, and there's the possibility that they could die, Superman's like, okay, even though Lois is likely dead, I'll always be with Lois. So I'm like, you're willing to be alone forever, even though by your own admission, Lois is probably dead. She wasn't, because they could be sent back to the exact same moment they left. But I'm just like, this is the dumbest thing and the dumbest ending in the world. Next Super Wonder thing is a much better storyline. Act of God. In this one, a meteorite passes Earth that completely takes out all the superheroes' powers. Now, there are some that arguably this should not justifiably work, like a Green Lantern ring or like a connection to magic. I mean, they wanted to see what would happen to the superheroes if they all lost their powers, but arguably it doesn't totally work. What happens is that Clark gets super depressed because he doesn't know what he's going to do anymore because he spends so much time being Superman. So Lois leaves him because she can't handle him having a crisis, even though he just lost his identity. Again, I don't like Lois. And so she leaves him. And then Clark and Diana get together. And they're on shaky ground. And then Clark has to basically go, no, I can still, he has to find another reason to live. So he goes off, does that, comes back, and they have a kid. So there is that. Then also we have, okay, I'm going to bring up Kingdom Come briefly, because here's the thing about Kingdom Come, which you have to understand. And Jay Heat, I know you're going to bring this up in the comments. The thing about Kingdom Come is, the thing about Injustice, I meant to say Injustice. The thing about Injustice is it's an Elseworld story, first off. And second off, it's not the Superman and Wonder Woman thing specifically that gets that point. It's the fact that it's it's an evil Wonder Woman. Because remember, in these books, it's the regular good Wonder Woman. In Injustice, it's the evil Wonder Woman that corrupts Superman. So that's what people always forget about that. Just saying, it just doesn't, that they always ignore that. Next up, so that's why I'm briefly going through Injustice, because that's always the one that people for some reason bring up and saying Super Wonder doesn't work. It turns them into dictators. Oh, so you're using the book where there are so many other factors that affect that beyond who Superman is married to. Wow. Next up, I would argue a few of the Wonder Woman arcs, like the Horse Women, because there was a part in that. Well, okay, so what DC did is they tried to decanonize it again. Tomasi and Jurgens, they did that spitefully, admittedly spitefully. And what they did was kind of funny is, so then DC later recanonizes the Superman and Wonder Woman relationship. So they keep going back and forth on it. I guess what happens is that they recanonized it, but said it didn't last, which is stupid because it's like, arguably the lowest one won't last, but that's besides the point. And then the next one that I would say would be the best, is also John Byrne's Man of Steel, because Man of Steel Volume 2 I believe Volume 2 has it's the first date with Wonder Woman where they like each other, but they decide not to get together for some reason because they're both young and they don't understand everything. But still, it's like, that's just what I think is like a cop-out. It's like them saying, see, we did try and put them together, but it just didn't work. No, but you actually didn't try. That's the issue. You really didn't try. One issue is not a try. That's my issue with DC. They seem to put this in there just to say, no, we've tried to put them with other people. It just doesn't work. You haven't given it as much time as Lois Lane. You have to give it at least an arc, maybe 2. That's the thing about New 52 that I like. They gave it a shot, and sales-wise, and I just covered this on my Under Two Capes episode, sales-wise, it did great. So that should tell you something, DC. But that's besides the point. I'm not going to go on another Superman and Wonder Woman rant on this, but even though I could for so long. And then here's my wild card pick, Doomsday Clock. Because guess what? They established that Earth 52, the New 52, is its own Earth over there. So essentially what that means is, guess what? This is recanonized fully. It's just it's on a different Earth, which I think they should have done in the beginning and not wiped out. I don't think DC, when they do a reboot, should completely cut out the original stuff. Should completely wipe the slate clean. What they should do, I mean, they should do a hard reboot, but what they should do is that the new universe they established should just be another Earth and just move on and leave that. Because that way, they didn't decanonize anything. They didn't wipe it from existence. It's just on another Earth. Because that way, it's like fans of the New 52 like me. I'm like, I love that stuff. Now I can read it and be like, okay, it's not like I'm reading stuff that doesn't exist anymore. It's still there. It's less spiteful, in other words. That's another reason why I like Jeff Johns, is like he goes back and undoes the spiteful stuff, because that was totally done because DC during the Rebirth era was intentionally blasting anyone that was a fan of the New 52. And that's a good idea in a struggling medium. Blast your fan base. Really good, guys. But besides that, that's my list of, like, I'd say about at least 10 really good SuperWonder books if you guys are interested in getting any of these comics. And if you guys have any idea of other reading lists that you guys want me to cover, drop them in the comments and I will be sure to check them out. And again, and also, if you guys have any good SuperWonder reading lists like Hellacre or anyone that regularly watches my SuperWonder stuff, if you have any good books that inspire you when you write your stories, or my friend Night Sky, anyone, drop them in the comments. I'll be sure to check those out and may review them on the show. So like, comment, subscribe, and I will be sure to check the comments regularly. Stay heroic, everyone.